We go to this story now. Tourism Minister Lindiwe Sisulu has addressed the red list matter with the British Deputy High Commissioner to South Africa. The red list contains the names of countries at highest risk of spreading the coronavirus. For more on this, we're joined by SABC's international news editor, Sophie Mokoena. Very good evening to you, Sophie. So what is South Africa doing about this problem and what is within its means?
Is working very hard to ensure that they are able to resolve this matter. The Minister of International Relations has promised that she is going to interact with her counterpart to try and find answers in terms of what's happening, but also at a diplomatic level, at different forums, the South African delegation is asking hard questions in terms of why this decision, because when you look at the list, it does include some countries on the continent who also have a problem of the Delta variant and also the Beta variant. And therefore, it is not clear why South Africa has been in this list when other countries were excluded from this list.
It became quite clear that we're not talking the same language. I'd had discussions also much earlier with the Department of International Relations, who explained to me that the British government is confusing our ability to detect a certain variant, which is the Beta variant, which had not been detected and is called the South African variant simply because we detected it, not because it was a South African variant.
Well, that episode, you had the minister talking about her engagement with the authorities, that is the British authorities, indicating that it looks like the problem here are the scientists in the United Kingdom who have advised United Kingdom to take the steps. But South Africa is firm, saying that perhaps the United Kingdom should have consulted the South African scientists, particularly those who are advising government in terms of what needs to be done. We saw South African scientists really coming out very hard to say that looking at the reasons that the United Kingdom has put forward, it doesn't make sense, or those reasons don't make sense, because South Africa has always been upfront in terms of what's happening. It is this country in the tip of Africa that was able to warn the world about the issue of this virus mutating, and the scientists in South Africa were able to detect the Beta variant and also advise the United Kingdom about the variant that was also circulating in the United Kingdom. And therefore, the Delta variant that was first detected in India, it is now circulating in the majority of the country around the globe, and you cannot single out South Africa.
So what has been the response from the UK?
The UK is not coming clear in terms of steps they are taking to address this matter, but they have promised that they will engage with South Africa. South Africa is saying they are looking forward to that meeting, and that meeting will include people with the know-how. I'm talking about the scientists that are working on the issue of variants, and also share information with the scientists in the United Kingdom so that they can find one another. Therefore, we are waiting. Maybe this week we'll get clarity ahead of the much talked about COP26.
So precisely on COP26, what will be the impact on those countries who are on the red list? How will they be affected in preparing for COP26?
It will definitely affect countries who are supposed to go to COP26. In other words, you have a situation where delegations, particularly from those countries, will have to quarantine for 10 days. When you quarantine, it is expenditure. You stay at the hotel for 10 days before the conference. It is a lot of money at a difficult time where countries are trying to save resources so that they can deliver services to their own people, because this pandemic has affected the economy of the world. And therefore, now you have a burden of people who must go 10 days before, spend money on hotels and also pay lots of money to quarantine and also buy food and all of that. Therefore, it is unfortunate that the United Nations is not also looking at this issue, because this COP26, it is a UN gathering on climate change. The United Kingdom is just a host, but we are hoping that South Africa will definitely fight to ensure that United Kingdom understands the situation the country is facing and other regions around the world who will be subjected to this unfair, unjust, discriminatory, apartheid type of tactics to isolate certain countries, particularly the poorer countries or the developing countries. Clearly, this is apartheid in disguise.
All right. Thank you very much, Sophie Mokoena, SABC International News Editor.